let's tune into some Friday messages here. These will be collective, and I'm working a project that I have to wait for 14 people to get back to me. Then I know what to do. Then they get back to me. Then I know what to do. So in between, I'm going to be doing these. But before we begin, I want to remind you that I'm a psychic medium, and the messages I share come through intuitive channeling. I tune into a particular frequency, a vibration that carries information beyond the surface of the cards. And when I use terms like black magic, spells, or energy work, remember, not everyone practices magic in the literal sense. Hate can be its own form of dark energy, and words themselves are spells. Spoken in anger or jealousy, words carry power. And when gossip turns into slander or libel, that energy takes form in the real world. That's where the spiritual meets the psychological, because every person is surrounded by guides, angels, and ancestors who are always listening, and they don't take kindly to that kind of energy. That's when you see people get backfires like, well, there we saw it. This, you'll see blowbacks for gossiping, like health issues or injuries or accidents. And I never wish that on anybody. I just wish that people would understand that even if they think that gossip is harmless, it's harmful, especially if you bump into somebody who's got a very powerful set of guides or powerful ancestry and people protecting. And, that's what I have. That's why I tell people I don't lift a finger to do any kind of revenge spells or return to sender. I'm not saying that isn't valuable for a lot of people, but it's not necessary when you've got a very close connection to the divine. And it's really not the best thing to do to people, because not only does it always come back to them, but what if you're dealing with the psychic, right? We already know. All right, so let's see if I can tune into this frequency. So I've got, well, okay, I can't tune into all of that. Okay, Spirit, clarify. Maybe I was guided to say that because you're dealing with a lot of gossip or gossipy people. You know, the people like that, it's their insecurities, it's their self-loathing, it's their fear, it's their wounded inner child. It's so many things. It's also stupidity. Very low vibrational people are going to engage in gossip. The best way to deal with those is to just get them out of your energy. Go, oh yeah, just say whatever. Get them right out of the way, because there's no changing people like that. And I hate to sound callous, but sometimes they have nothing better to do. What if the people that are literally gossiping or committing even slander, libel, what if they have no life? What if their life is nothing but a series of unfortunate events, and their only amusement is to make up lies about you or gossip about you or whatever? And, the majority of the people that have been with me for decades, in some cases, people that have been with me for over 50 years, you already know what I'm like. So the people that I've known for a very long time, they are, number one, those people are not the kind of people that would engage in such low vibrational practices. But that's for somebody. Maybe there's somebody listening to me that's got a big mouth that runs and runs, or, again, that's assuming that if somebody's doing something to you, that they're intelligent enough to know that you're too intelligent for that. Okay. I'm getting something about having to dumb down at a job. That could be that you dumbed yourself down at a job, or that you're at a job right now where you feel like you have to dumb yourself down to be there. I'm getting that one strongly. Please don't do that. I have done that before, just so that I can enjoy the job, and then to dumb myself down so that other people didn't feel uncomfortable made me uncomfortable. And what kept me going for so long was because I loved the people that I was serving and a lot of the people that I worked with. And in the end, what you'll find is that when it isn't a vibrational match, people will show themselves. So you'll see the gossip, you'll see people backstabbing you. If you're very strong, like I am, you're just like, whatever, I'm here to work and to enjoy myself. And those people will go about doing what they do. You'll find that if you're in a job situation, I don't know, I'm really getting that this is a job. Somebody's at a job that they cannot stand. There we go. Because of this, because the job sucks. There's backbiting, there's people fighting, and it's just a bunch of stupidity. Do you see how stupid that looks? It looks that stupid because it is that stupid. All right. Why are you at that job? I'm just going to get a read right over the top of it. And then I'm going to probably go into a Celtic cross. I might use some of the custom oracle cards. I'm not sure yet. Definitely you're at a job that is stupid with a bunch of stupid people. And I say that with all the love and light in my heart because stupid is as stupid does. Okay. People who do stupid things are being stupid. If they're being stupid and they remain in that energy, they're stupid. What do you want me to say? Do you want me to remind you that I'm Cuban? I'm just going to tell you the truth, and it's going to come out in the way that it does. All right. I'm really feeling the energy of a very young person. You know, I'm getting about, okay, that's a 26-year-old. Could be early 20s. Don't get fixated on that. This is collective, so remember it's for everybody and for whom it applies. For Whom the Bell Tolls is a book you may have read. Somebody's into quantum mechanics. If you're into quantum mechanics and you're working at a job that doesn't vibrate on that frequency, you're going to be miserable. So if it's just a paycheck, take the paycheck, and you're going to have to learn how to block and tune out. Try not to assimilate too much. I'm probably a pro at this. I know how to assimilate into every situation because I've had training on this, if you want to call it that way. A person can just act their way through any job, but eventually, if it's, like I said, if it's low vibrational and you're surrounded by a bunch of people who are low vibrational, surrounded by people or the energetic frequency or signature of a job. And, I'm going to say you're the nuclear physicist. What are you doing there? So, just try to get yourself out of the situation when you can, but that's not always possible. I'm getting another person. I'm getting the number 48. You could be 48 years old. You could be like really going head to head with a 48-year-old. Sometimes you could be 48 years old and have a 27 or 26-year-old, boss, and the boss is an idiot, but you're not the boss. So you have to kind of know your place. Somebody works at a call center. All right. What is this fighting about? Because it's a losing battle. What am I saying? I'm telling that to you because it's a losing battle. All right, let me get this incense out of the way. Because every time I do this, somebody's getting a blowback. Somebody's getting a health blowback. Somebody who's been, I was going to say the word, somebody who's been messing with you is getting a health blowback. Somebody who's been talking about you is getting a health blowback. Could be your boss. Could be somebody that you are working with that is currently getting a health blowback just for being evil. Okay. So that's why it's almost indefensible, isn't it? But it's a losing battle. For them, for you, doesn't matter, but you're the smart one. So you're going to know when to get yourself out of there. Okay. There are plenty of things to do. If it's bad enough, just move along to another job. Just, bow out gracefully and go. Wands are a lot of fire. Wands are a lot of, so there could be actual bullying at the workplace. Literally, somebody could be coming at you. All right. So tell me, why are they coming at my collective? I extend my protection to everyone that listens to me and the people that I'm surrounded. When I leave a place, I take my protection with me. Okay, so there's 8 of Pentacles because you do great work. That's why they hate you, because you're awesome at what you do, because you're probably very artistic, because you're able to reproduce what you're doing every day, because you're consistent, because you don't call out sick, because, not to say that when you're sick, you shouldn't call out sick, but you know how some people are sick all the time. They call out sick just because they like to, okay, thereby destabilizing the team. Some, environments, It's easier to be sick than it is, in other environments, but that's why you're getting that, because you're just awesome and you're great at what you do and other people can't stand that. You could be from New York. You could be very cultured. You could be from a big city and you could be dealing with clowns from small town mentality. All right. I lived in a very small town once. They just didn't understand me because I'd moved, from Southern California to Eden, Idaho. Okay. And it was a long, long time ago, very long time ago. And they really didn't know how to take my, husband, myself, my little family. They thought because we had some money that we came in with, because of everything I worked for, that somehow, I'm not going to apologize for being from LA. Sorry, not sorry. I was born there. You weren't. What do you want me to say? Some people are born in Ethiopia. They can't help that either. All right. So it's because you're awesome. That's why this is happening. This is definitely a work reading. This is a career reading. I don't know if you want to call this kind of environment a career that you should pursue. So tell me about this gaggle of weirdos. Okay. Who are the LARPing witches? Two of Pentacles, people that don't have two nickels to rub together. And that doesn't mean that if you don't have two nickels, because I often don't have two nickels, but it's just because they're feeling less than in the material and the physical, and you have a choice to make. You have a choice to make whether or not you're going to stay there, because I believe that this is causing you way too much anxiety and that you would better serve yourself by either working remotely, working from home, if possible. Only, you could be a Virgo, literally, or you could be dealing. Oh, we've got a card here that's facing up. Page of Swords, definitely gossip, definitely stalking and gang stalking. If you don't see it in the physical, could just be people that are watching your every move, watching to see what you do. Morbid curiosity, digging into your internet history to see who you are. Where are you from? What did you do? Well, because there's nothing better to do. They're going to do that. I mean, there's one thing that's curiosity, and then there's, little stalking. Codependency is an issue. People that are codependent on your energy. Let's see if that one flips. All right, wait, let's see. Tell us about this gossip. What is the purpose and the nature? It's because you've started something on your own. Maybe you've already left the environment. You're starting something on your own, or they know that you're planning to. Queen of Swords in reverser could be a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, male or female, doesn't matter, that is involved in this. In the reverse, they are lending themselves to this nightmare that you're in and the choice that needs to be made, or the choice that you've already made. Tell us about this new start. Be safe before you jump. I've had to jump without being safe, and it was literally to keep myself safe. All right, because we've got the star in reverse. They don't like that you look youthful. They don't like that you're a healer or that you're healed. I don't know if I should cover that or not. Let's see. But the issue really is that you're a healer. You're some kind of a healer. You are healed. You healed yourself because you are divinely protected. The star also talks about wishes coming through for you easier than it does for other people, but it's probably because you have good karma, because you're not a horrible person like the people that I see here at your job. What do you want me to say? That could be your manager. That could be a coworker. That could be anybody in the environment who does nothing, because that Queen of Swords in reverse, that is a horrible person. One of the worst you could find in the deck. I always tell people that when you're dealing with a negative party, if they're gossiping and slander, look for the air sign. Generally, it's going to be a Gemini. I'm not hating on Gemini. I've got friends who are Geminis, but the worst are going to be the air signs. Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius, in that order. Sometimes I want to say Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. Aquarius doesn't get involved too much in it. Usually Aquarius is the one that's, behind the scenes, if they're going to be negative, doing the IT work, trying to hack your devices. But the Queen of Swords in reverse, anytime you see the King and the Queen of Swords in reverse, that's serious trouble. Even the knights are a nightmare. They're two-faced, they're gossiping, they're awful. Those are the ones that are going to sleep with all the coworkers too. All right, so tell us about the Queen of Swords in reverse. Who is this heinous individual, this wretched, somebody you're moving away from? I think you're planning to leave this job, and if I was looking at this reading and this was my reading, I would leave. So make sure that you move in silence. Don't, of course, tell anybody what you're doing. Give notice I had to give a month's notice at a job because I'm like, okay, so this is really bad and it's time to go. So I gave notice and notice and notice, and there we go. I think that you literally could be starting your own business. Maybe you could it doesn't have to be gardening, but it could be starting something where you're self-sufficient, you sustain yourself. And yeah, there's a lot of hard work involved and it could be very difficult at times. Wouldn't having a whole orchard or garden be very difficult to do, but I think you're going to do it. Plan first. All right. Plan as best you can. Move in silence, use double speak, pig Latin. Don't tell people what you're doing because they're going to be really sad when you go. They're going to be sad. Don't tell anybody what you're doing. Like, it's what I always tell my advice to everybody. Don't tell everybody everything and don't be exact or precise. Doesn't mean you have to lie, but you don't have to tell them everything. Just don't. Because look, what you have is gossip, slander, theft. We're talking about workplace theft. Three of Swords, you will heal from this successfully. You will be fine because the people surrounding you, I mean, there could be magicians involved in there because these would be people that run around like what I call them the Costco robes. If Kmart were still around, it'd be the Kmart bathrobes, what you're wearing the Temu crown and you got the Oriental Trading Company wand. Okay, I'm making fun of them because they're horrible. These are horrible people. Whoever you're working with, they're terrible. Why lie about it? Tell the truth shall set you free. The world in reverse, this cycle is not complete, so you need to close that cycle out, which means I think you're going to do it. All right, so let's look into the near future for this. Sure, I think I'll move to a different kind of reading just to sum this up because this is definitely a career reading for you guys. Friday message for you. My name is Rita Evelyn Yanez, and if you'd like a reading, you could reach out to me, ritayanez.com. Because emailing me is much slower. I get too much email and then I don't know what's going on and we have to go into that. So it's easier. Just go directly to ritayanez.com or you could schedule a reading with me. You could schedule a coaching session with me. You can order a pre-recorded video with me. For those of you that are still waiting on videos, I've got a few of them that I still have to do, but I've got the project from hell. All right. Helping somebody who... I'm not allowed to talk about the job, actually, and now they want to take my voice, and they can't have my voice. We didn't negotiate that. So for the opening card, we have the Two of Swords in reverse, so I know that you have made the decision and that you see things clearly at this stupid job that you're at a stupid job. These people are stupid. All right, because you are seeking a renewal. The foundation is that you want to reclaim your happiness, go back to your happiness. Maybe you and your family are just miserably unhappy. If you're an intelligent person, you're getting out. So the foundation is that you're basically a happy person and this job sucks. All right, so here we go. For the fading influence, we have the Knight of Wands in reverse. Again, with the Wands, very hostile energy, very aggressive energy. There was definitely workplace bullying. You know that's a lawsuit if it rises to that, and you can prove that. And you have to look up what are the, I was going to say the terms of engagement. Statute of limitations, that kind of thing. Look that up to see what's going on. And my last job still owes me like over 20 days of vacation pay that was stolen from me. And I gave months of notice and they still haven't made it right. All right. So Three of Pentacles in reverse because of the crowning influence is that this is a job that sucks. The job sucks. That's what's going on with that job. You've got haters, the people there. You could even have a situation where these people are working together to make your life miserable. Leave. Okay, it's not as easy to do, but make like a tree and leave, okay? Do not tell anybody where you're going or what job you go to, especially if you have to work in a community where you're in the same place where they are, because in the near future, you got to be careful with the job offers that are presented to you. Somebody could come in, could be Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. In the reverse, doesn't have to be a male. Definitely a manipulator, somebody who's like a love bomber type of energy, somebody who's definitely false. Now, this could be one of the coworkers. This could be one of your friends around this cowork environment, or this could be a new job offer. Clarify. Well, no, we won't clarify yet. Yeah, we will, because it went that way. Ten of Pentacles. This person, there's two job offers, at least two. This one is a manipulator. It could be tied to an ex or an ex relationship or this ex job. Okay. It feels more like tied to the gaggle of witches. Okay. The other is going to bring you permanent stability, more wealth, lots more money, a lot more money than what you were I mean, a lot more money than what you were making. All right. It's very scary to do that, but it's going to free you from the prison of your mind and the prison that is this job. All right. What does the community, the gaggle, say? Yeah. They're like, no, everything is fine here. You're fine. We love you. We don't hate you. Everybody loves you. You're trying to drop the swords out of you, and they're going to try to put 10 more in you because this is the second 10 of swords in the Tarot of the Modern Witch. This is the everything is fine card. No, it's not. These are people that are gossiping about you. These are people that are like chasing you around on social media, talking about everything you say. Well, you know what? I'm going to tell you something. All right. In the entertainment industry, it's all publicity. Okay. So let them go ahead and make you more popular than you already are. All right. So for your hopes and fears, you're afraid that, this kind of shit is true. Well, it is true, sweetheart. What do you want me to tell you? It's true. It's true. They're liars. So you're surrounded by a group of people at work. I don't know why I keep getting somebody's at a call center. I mean, like I'm really getting at least one of you out there is at a call center. I get call center, call center, call center. I mean, you could be working, anywhere from, a truck stop to a casino and everything in between, all of it in between. But I'm getting somebody is at a call center. Definitely. All right. So you're afraid that it's true. Well, it is true. It is true. Haters going to hate. People are going to be stupid. You need to end that cycle. For most of you, you're still at that job and that needs to end. Let me get a summary for that and then I'm going to tell you what it's going to look like. All right, summary, because you've got an offer coming in. So communication is coming in about a job. Most definitely communication is coming in about a job. So I'm going to use a different deck to soften this energy. And let's use Hanson Roberts. Let's see what this new opportunity, what your life will begin to look like, how it will be shaped as you move forward. Okay, so like I said, look, if it's very unhealthy, you need to leave immediately. If you can give your notice like I did, you give the notice like I did. Whether or not anybody understands that, whether or not people are stupid, you need to plan and protect yourself. And I want you to take my advice. And for very good reason, because I'm almost 57 and you're probably not. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. So we're going to use this as the beginning. All right. So an emperor, this could be a male that offers you a position. This could be a male of very high authority who's very surprising with his offer. Make sure that you separate romance and, that kind of thing. It's not always easy to work at a place. Most of the time it's discouraged. And I actually know somebody who worked at a call center and they weren't allowed to do that. They did it anyway. Okay. So, all right. Very young people at the time. All right. So let's see. All right. So the emperor comes in with a lovely offer that is surprising. There's something different about the offer. It's not going to be what you expect. Now, if you're the job hunter and, you're not being head hunted, if you're the job seeker, the job hunter, it could be that you put in 1 million applications and the one that comes towards you is going to be surprising, the one that But you always have to use your intuition and discernment so that you don't fall back into patterns. Like if you detect that somebody is nasty or like they're going to suck, like the people you used to work with, then you need to be careful. All right. So the foundation of this offer, Spirit, please guide my collective to bigger and better things, away from negative people, low vibrational people, low lives. All right. Spirit. All right. Okay, you'll have to certainly do your introspection to think about this. Again, a little bit of that Virgo energy. So you're going to need to, use your introspection. You could end up, working alone. Lots of major arcana here. That's 3 so far. Strength in the fading influence could be some Leo energy. Doesn't have to be the Emperor. Could be Aries energy. Doesn't have to be. So be strong, because there could be a quiet period in between there. That's why I'm saying prepare yourself, but not at the expense of your psychological health, because you can file for unemployment benefits or something and let them know about what was happening to you. And they will help you, and they'll also direct you to legal resources if it's that bad, if it was that bad. That's why I tell everybody keep notes. Yeah. Okay, we got 2, so we're going to take them both in that, or take them both. Judgment. Do you see what's happening here? All of them are major arcana except for the news of the surprising offer, and then the Sun. You couldn't get any better. For the people that need to leave that job, if you take that leap of faith, you got to be psychologically healthy enough and strong enough to do this. If you're in a depleted state, I would say leave immediately, because if it's depleting you, and that's what that is. You don't want to stay at a job so long that you end up, having mental issues and, psychological traumas, and having to go to a doctor to be put on the path of medication, which I'm not hating on medication, but I'm very much against it. If you need to be strong enough to work on yourself, get guidance. It will be a reciprocal situation. 6 of Pentacles. Can you see that? I think I'm a little low on here. Reciprocal. You're going to get what you're worth. It's going to be fair and balanced. Okay. If you've ever worked at a job where, you took like, a fraction, a quarter of what you ever would have taken, probably an eighth, then you know what I mean. You're going to be back at the level that you're accustomed to based on your experience. And if you're very young, you're building your experience, then of course your wages are going to be commensurate with that experience. Correct? Yeah. Okay, that's why you go to school and you stay in school and you get a degree, or you get a trade, or you become an electrician. All right, they make bank. All right, let's see. Tell us more about this energy. Yeah, look at this. Now you've got the news of money coming in. There's money coming in for you guys. I told you Libra season is very balancing, even though it's not good for the people who are doing bad things. They tend to, like I said, if it's gossip, slander, if it's black magic or spells, that kind of thing, whatever it is, it backfires and everybody gets injured. All right. I've seen it happen even with car accidents, God forbid. Okay. And the 8 of Pentacles in reverse, your fear will be that you will not find work. Yes, you will. It's probably going to find you. All right, here we go. Wow. That's a fling. All right. Don't have a fling at work. Maybe there's a romantic relationship coming into you guys. All right. We've got the Temperance card. Do you see how the majority of these cards are major arcana? Major arcana, because this is big. This is a balancing of the energies for you. Summary card, Spirit. And the truth will prevail. All right, guys, that is your Friday reading on this topic for this collective. If I get a chance in between, I will come back to do more. Take care. God bless you. You're doing good. Let everybody else get the blowback. It's not your problem. It's theirs. Namaste.